Across the pages of Scripture, some of the most powerful stories are hidden in only a few lines. Stories of courage, stories of quiet bravery, stories of individuals who changed the course of events, not with armies, but with conviction. This is Hidden Scrolls of Africa, and this is the story of an African man who saved the life of a prophet. The setting is Jerusalem, during one of the darkest moments in the history of the Kingdom of Judah. Far beyond the city walls, an empire was rising, the Babylonian Empire. Its armies had already conquered great nations across the ancient Near East. Now those armies were approaching Jerusalem. Fear spread through the streets of the city. Markets whispered with rumors of war. Leaders argued about what must be done. And in the middle of this growing crisis stood a prophet named Jeremiah. For years, Jeremiah had warned the people of Judah that their nation was in danger. He warned that corruption, injustice, and disobedience had weakened the kingdom. He warned that if the people did not change their ways, Jerusalem itself would fall. But Jeremiah's message was not welcomed. Many leaders believed his warnings weakened the nation. Some accused him of discouraging the soldiers. Others claimed he was spreading fear among the people. And so the officials of the city decided that Jeremiah must be silenced. The prophet was arrested, dragged through the streets, and taken to a place beneath the city. A deep cistern carved into the stone ground. In ancient cities, these cisterns were used to collect rainwater, but this one held no water, only thick, heavy mud. Jeremiah was lowered into the pit, and slowly he sank into the mud. The walls rose high above him. The opening above became smaller and smaller, until finally the prophet was alone, left there to die. No food, no water, no escape. But inside the royal court of Jerusalem, there was one man who refused to remain silent. The Bible calls him Ebed-Melech. The name is not a personal name, but a title. It means servant of the king. And the scriptures identify him with a remarkable description. He was a Cushite, a man from the ancient kingdom of Cush, a powerful African civilization that lay far to the south of Egypt. How this man from Africa came to serve in the royal court of Judah, the Bible does not say. But on that day, his courage would change the course of a life. When Ebed-Melech heard what had happened to Jeremiah, he knew the prophet would die if nothing was done. So he did something few others were willing to do. He went directly to the king. Standing before King Zedekiah, the Cushite official spoke with boldness. He told the king that the officials of the city had acted wickedly. If Jeremiah remained in that pit, he would die. The king listened. For a moment, the fate of the prophet hung in silence. Then Zedekiah gave an order. Ebed-Melech was to rescue Jeremiah from the cistern. Immediately, the Cushite official gathered several men. They brought ropes. But Ebed-Melech also did something remarkable. He gathered old cloth, worn garments, and rags. Then he went to the opening of the pit. The ropes were lowered first, but with them, Ebed-Melech sent the cloth down to the prophet. He called down into the darkness. He told Jeremiah to place the cloth beneath his arms, so that when the ropes tightened, they would not cut into his skin. Even in the urgency of the rescue, Ebed-Melech showed compassion. Carefully, slowly, the men began to pull the ropes. The weight rose from the mud. The prophet lifted from the darkness of the cistern, higher and higher, until Jeremiah finally emerged into the light. The prophet had been saved, not by an army, not by a king, but by the courage of one man who refused to remain silent. The story of Ebed-Melech might seem small, only a handful of verses in the book of Jeremiah, but the courage of the Cushite official did not go unnoticed. Later, the prophet Jeremiah delivered a message directly to him, a message from God. Because Ebed-Melech had trusted in the Lord, his life would be spared when Jerusalem fell, and fall it would. The Babylonian armies eventually captured the city. The walls were broken, the temple burned, the kingdom of Judah collapsed. Yet in the midst of that destruction, the life of one man was preserved, the Cushite who had saved the prophet. History often remembers kings, generals, empires, but sometimes the most powerful acts of courage come from those whose names appear only briefly in the record. Ebed-Melech, the Cushite, an African servant in a foreign court, a man whose quiet courage rescued a prophet from death, and whose story still echoes across the centuries.
This is Hidden Scrolls of Africa. If you want the story's history left out, subscribe. The scrolls still remember.